Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, I'm going to show you how to make my crispy garlic rosemary chicken breasts. This is a really simple recipe, perfect for a weeknight, and it's loaded with flavor. So let me show you what you need and we'll get started on Dishin with Di. You need some thinly sliced chicken cutlets, some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, some panko breadcrumbs, which are Japanese style breadcrumbs, and also some regular Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and some fresh garlic. You also need some salt, pepper, and olive oil, and I have some fresh rosemary here, and I finely minced this. And the rosemary comes on a stem, and you just want to make sure you just take it off of the stem. You don't want to use the stem. And I finely minced my garlic as well. And you're also going to need a fresh lemon. So we're going to use the lemon for the zest as well as the juice. Now I've taken the breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese, and I've combined that together in this pie plate. You can just, use whatever you have. So something shallow, because we're going to be putting our chicken in here. So what I'm going to do now is get over to the stove. I have a small skillet over there, and I'm going to be taking with me the rosemary, garlic, lemon, salt, pepper, and olive oil. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Into a cold pan, I'm adding some olive oil along with the minced garlic and that finely minced rosemary. And I'm also going to take the fresh lemon and I'm going to add some of the zest from this. And this is going to add a nice freshness to it. And then I'm going to take the lemon and I'm going to put some of this juice in there as well. And this is going to give a real nice, fresh, citrusy flavor to the chicken. And I just love the combination of rosemary, garlic, and lemon together. It's just like one of those things, a match made in heaven, as they say. So get that in there, and then we're going to take a little bit of salt, not too much because we have the Parmesan cheese, and that is very salty. And then some of this freshly ground black pepper. And just give this a nice stir around. And turn my heat onto medium. And I'm going to bring this up to a simmer. Once it starts to simmer, I'm going to reduce the heat to low, and I'm just going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, just to kind of get everything really infused together. And you don't want anything to brown, so you don't want it to be bubbling too hard. And then after 5 minutes, I'll show you what we're going to do with it. I've taken the mixture off the stove and I put it into a pie plate, and now what I'm doing is taking a fork and I'm just kind of smashing down any of that garlic that's in there, because now it's really nice and soft, and I'm just helping it to really get more flavor infused to this oil. And this has kind of had a chance to cool off for a couple minutes, so it's not real super hot anymore. And the other thing that I did was turn my oven on, and that's preheating to 425 degrees. So now I have a 13x9 baking dish here, and I have like a little assembly line going. So I have my chicken, I have the oil mixture, and then I have my breadcrumbs and cheese mixture that's been combined. So I'm going to take a piece of the chicken and dip it into the oil and get it really well coated. You see that? It gets all over there, and this oil smells incredible. So just really get a lot of that rosemary and garlic and everything on there, and then take it and put it over into your breadcrumb mixture and just kind of coat it with the breadcrumbs and press it down with your hands and flip it over to the other side. Really make sure you get a good coating of those breadcrumbs on there, because that's what's going to make this really nice and crispy. And then you want to take each piece and put it into your baking dish. So just continue and one at a time, put them in. My chicken is thoroughly coated now. So now what you're going to do with the remaining mixture is kind of drizzle that over the chicken. And this is going to add even more flavor to this. Just get a little bit on each one, kind of get it as even as you can. You don't have to use all of it, but a night. Really love the way this tastes. The last time I made it, I got rave reviews from my family, and that's always a good thing around here. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into my preheated oven for about 20 minutes. Now during that time, I'm probably going to flip it over about like halfway through, and then at the very end, I'm going to turn the broiler on and leave it under the broiler for just a minute or two, just so it gets a little extra crispy on top. So that part depends on, you know, what you see. If it looks crispy enough for you, then don't put it under the broiler. But we like it real crispy around here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. My chicken is done, and it's nice and golden brown and really crispy. And I am going to get me a taste of this. I just can't wait. The house smells incredible. You know, that rosemary and garlic, just like kind of, it's in every room. So when people walk in, they're like, what's for dinner? So let's get a bite into this. Look at that. It's nice and crispy. Let me cut that in half. So let's get a taste of it. Moist, really crunchy. And you have to try this recipe. Super easy. It's on my website, dishinwithdi.com, and I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.